Ford, they pretty much have gotten out of the car business. Really, they mostly make trucks and SUVs. But one car they still make is an awesome one. It's the Mustang. Hi, this is Joe from Way Scarff Ford, and today we're going to talk about this 2026 Mustang. Let's dive in. So I'm not going to bury the lead here. For 2026, we haven't seen a ton of major changes on the Mustang because it was completely redesigned for 2024. Today we're talking about this 2026 EcoBoost Premium, one of the more entry-level versions of the Mustang. Still very fast, still very capable. Even though it doesn't have a big 5-liter V8, this thing still is really quick and really fun to drive. So yes, the Mustang was heavily revised for the 2024 model year, but for 2026, Ford, they did offer some new colors, some new interior packages. There's a new graphics package available on the GT version, the 5-liter, called the FX package, which I think is really cool. I graduated high school in '99, and when I was in high school, one of the coolest cars to have was a Fox body Mustang. You could be a total geek, you could have a face covered with acne, but if you had a Fox body Mustang, you're automatically cool. One day, hopefully I'll have one. But the FX package, which isn't available on the EcoBoost like this one, it gives you design accents that pay homage to those Fox body Mustangs that we all love so much in the 80s and 90s. We've seen the Camaro come and go, and go again. The Dodge Challenger, I don't know if they're gonna bring it back. They have the Charger, like a 2-door version and a 4-door version of the Charger, and they're EVs, but I don't know if they're coming out with a gas version of the Charger or a 2-door Challenger again. So the Mustang is one of the few 2-door coupes you can buy in the US market. Coupes and sedans are not as popular as they used to be. Most people like crossover SUVs. That's why Ford doesn't really make any cars anymore. They focus on trucks and SUVs and crossover SUVs like the Explorer, the Bronco Sport. But the Mustang, continuous production for 60 years. It hasn't skipped a beat. People love them, and luckily Ford still keeps them in production. It's a part of their heritage, and people still love to buy these things. The EcoBoost features a turbocharged engine pumping out 315 horsepower. Pretty amazing performance. 0 to 60 is about 4.5 seconds, where the GT version is closer to 4 seconds flat. So even though the GT version makes well over 100 horsepower, the Mustang EcoBoost is still very quick. The engine is light. It's a lot lighter than a big V8 engine. So in some ways, this has better weight distribution. It has better balance than the V8 version. And obviously, without having to lug away around all that weight, and with forced induction, it's able to accelerate really quick. That's why even though it has well over 100 horsepower less than the V8, it's still nipping at its heels and 0 to 60. And this EcoBoost Premium looks really good. You need a trained eye to really tell the difference. People aren't gonna say, hey,